this video, we're going to continue our journey through the Google algorithm leak and some of the implications that it has for us as digital marketers online. Today, we're going to be looking at how user engagement actually impacts our ranking. So Google uses a number of different factors when it comes to how it views engagement from a user. Now, some of these may not apply to your site directly, but think about it from an overall practice standpoint. What are the things that Google's looking for? They're trying to figure out how people are engaging with the content that they find within search. So for instance, if you're doing a podcast, they're looking at things like their listening patterns. If you have video, they're looking at your viewing patterns. So personalizing the results based on the past history and the past action of a user. They're also looking at things like content freshness as well as quality scores. So they're looking at the show quality, how long since something's been published. So having fresh content, having updated content that really meets that user intent and engages with them is extremely important if we want to rank in today's search engines. Let's take a look at a few other engagement metrics. Things like impressions matter. Now in this instance, we're looking at metrics like listen or episode impressions. So if you're doing a podcast, that matters, but maybe you may just be blogging. Well, impressions of your article and how people engage with that article matter. These popularity and engagement metrics are playing a role. Google's also looking at how long people engage with your content. Things like those episode or show scores, but again, that applies to content as well, thinking about dwell time, even though they don't specifically talk about that within their algorithm, but how long do they stay on your site and stay engaged? And then they're also very concerned with the safety of the end user. Is this content that's going to be toxic? Is it content that's going to be adult content? Or is it something that's applicable to a larger audience? These things all play a role in our content's ranking. So what can we do as far as SEOs to build a more user-focused search strategy? Well, we can create personalized content. We need to really understand who we're marketing to and the things that they're looking to achieve via the search engines. What's the action that they want to take? So we can improve our content and improve what our users want by adding in those elements that allow them to engage with our brand. Making sure that you're adhering to the guidelines is very important, that you're meeting the qualifications that we see in the quality search guidelines, right? That score is being factored into the algorithm as a whole. It's actually used in the deep learning portion of the algorithm to filter and slice the results even more narrowly based on the end user. So make sure you personalize, make sure that you have quality content. Those do matter. Then make sure that you have some kind of interaction or engagement. How are you going to engage them on your site? What's their goal, right? So think about the searcher. What are they trying to achieve? And how does your page help them achieve that goal? So continue to look at ways to increase that user engagement. And then use feedback loops, right? Track your data. See how these implementations, these changes, whether to the content, design of your site, are impacting both user behavior as well as your search results. You also want to make sure that your content is frequently updated. Make sure that if you're in an industry specifically that needs to have updated content, that you're not letting it fall behind. Google will prioritize, in some cases, newer content because it may be cutting edge, it may be something that's expected within that user space. So if that's your industry, pay attention to that. And also make sure, again, that you just comply with the guidelines. Make sure that your content's safe. It's something that's available to your core audience, that it's not going to produce harm to anybody who's searching that site. These are things that you have to kind of keep in your forefront of your mind when you're optimizing your content for user engagement. What are their expectations? How can you personalize it to them? How can you keep it fresh? And how can you keep the user safe and have a good experience throughout the whole process? Doing these things makes a big impact on search rankings. Go ahead and start implementing some tests. I'd love to see the tests you're doing, and comment below to see how things shift and change. We've been doing some deep study in this area, and I hope to release some information on it very, very soon about the implications of user engagement and SEO. And it's a lot more than we probably believe to admit from years past. But again, what are we actually trying to accomplish? That's where really all this starts. How are we helping our audience find the information they need to find and engage with a site that they want to engage with in order to achieve the end result? Are we helping them do that, or are we trying to achieve our own result? And that's what's really going to help you make these user engagement decisions. How do we best serve the people who need to find our site, and really how can we help them achieve their ultimate goal? I'd love to hear more. If you have any questions on this topic or anything else that we've covered in the last few weeks, please comment below. And until next time, happy marketing.